All right, guys, this is Horror Studio One coming to you once again with the live streams. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually traveling right now, and right now I am in the suite of my hotel room. I am currently in KL, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia at the moment. And that's where we're going to be doing a live stream today, guys. So this is the 33rd live stream that I'm going to be doing with you guys. If you guys have any of your own true scary stories, whether they be ghosts, stalker stories, whatever stories you want to tell, or you just want to drop by and say hello, because it's January 1st, 2017, for most of my viewers I know in America right now. Yeah, you're welcome to just send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com and I will get back to you. So I'm still a bit sick, but I've gotten a lot better than I was before, and I feel like, you know, I'm gonna stream in a while, and yeah, that's gonna be today's video. Is gonna be a live stream for you guys. So if you guys do have your own stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. You can get in here, talk to me. Right now it's actually nighttime in Malaysia. It's exactly 12 hours or 13 hours from Canada. So for most of you guys in North America, it's like 10 in the morning. I'm not sure if you guys woken up yet from, you know, last night. You know, it was the countdown, but I didn't want to be doing it too late because I have stuff to do in the morning as well. So right now I have some alone time, and I wanted to just do a stream with you guys. So if you guys want to come in here, again, send me a link at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. Without further ado, I have some stories here that I like to narrate. Before that, let's go into the chat and see what you guys are talking about. I always do that because I'm always afraid that my microphone has stopped working. It's the most horrible fear. You know, true scary stories, that's a freaking true scary stories. So, by the way, the Wi-Fi in this hotel is freaking amazing. Like, usually I upload a video, it takes me like 20 minutes in Canada. It takes 4 minutes here. Like, but it's like the only good place for Wi-Fi in Malaysia because everywhere else, Malaysia has not good Wi-Fi. Anyways, let's open up the chat and see what minutes. Happy New Year, HS1. Hey, Darthstone, Happy New Year to you as well. Hi. Yeah, hopefully 2007 will be better than 2016. 2017 will be better than 2016. So, yep, I'm happy you guys can actually hear me now. People are like, I never imagined your voice with your face, blah, 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 blah. Shout out to Declane Smidge. Okay, so, hey, what's up? How's everyone doing today? So, 10 scary microphone stories that happened in Malaysia. All right, so let me narrate some stories for you guys, and if you guys have your own stories, send me an email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and you guys can get in here. All right, let's start. This is just a series of creepy short stories. So, hey, I've been on your channel for a while now. Your stories help me a lot. They comfort me. That sounds weird, but it does. I'm sure you get it a lot of this thank you so much stuff, but you know, yeah. So I'm 15 years old, and I've had a few weird things happen to me before. I thought I could share them if you ever needed more stories. Sorry for the shitty spelling and or grammar. Demons at the Pride Center. So I go to this teens LGBTQ plus group for teens, and we love to fuck around with the Ouija board there. Well, I watch and my friends play with it. It gives me the creeps half the time anyways. We play with it in the basement for an hour before the group ends. So we have this ghost corner where all the bad spirits normally are. Weird, I know, but that corner on one of those days made my stomach turn. I could hear them telling the spirits to stop and to leave, hearing things like, guys, this isn't an angel or Gaby, an angel friend if there's, and then saying every demon here is trying to escape the board. I go to where the snacks are and the dread just went away. My friends said they felt like they were followed home that night. Story 2, a guilt trip. So this was when I was 13 years old. I still remember it clearly and feel just as bad as I did then. I was sitting in the car with my mom and my sister at a red light. The road was almost empty other than us, and I heard a loud screech coming from a car that had hit the brakes so fast. My mom joked about how that to behave, I'm turning this car around treatment. My sister asked my mom something, and I hear a scream. It came from a preteen in the backseat of the car screaming for help, looking out the window at me. The man is from trying to hit and shove her as she's trying to block him away. I tell my mom we should call the cops or something, but she wouldn't listen until they drove off. I never got the plate number, and I still feel horrible about it. I hope that girl's all right, and maybe it was just a drunk parent. Story 3. Visions with bad endings. So at night, I get dreams of a moment that happens the next day. But lately, they haven't ended well. One was my family and me out on the porch getting shot at by some man. Next day, everyone got up to the shoot. What? No one got shot, just my mentality. Another was I was watching Ghostbusters. My sister gets possessed, and my mom crashes the car trying to get my sister and I away, only to get possessed and to crash the car. My sister made a comment during the movie in real life, same one she did before getting possessed in my dream. Nothing happened though, but it's pretty trippy if you ask me. Glitch in the Matrix maybe. I have more stories I plan on sending out, but sadly my hands are cramping up. Thanks for reading this, and oh, I like to stay anonymous if you put this in a video. Anyways, I'll send you more when I can. Well, dude, I mean, you didn't really put your full name, so yeah, thank you, my fan. So if you guys have your own true scary stories you want to share, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and you can get your ass in here. All right, let's look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. I can't sleep until I watch one of these. Jesus Christ. All right, thank you. Football for Life 92. I like turtles. I like turtles too. Fantastic Doof. I fucking love you. Thank you. I love you, Frankie. Okay, hey, what's up? Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. So I basically put this in my Facebook as well. So get your friends to come in. Galaxy Girl says, how are you? I'm good. What's up? What's up, Nerd Nibbles? Hypervenom224, I noticed you. All right, let's get to the next story. Another ghost story. Hello again. I first want to thank you for telling my story of the ghost at the schoolhouse back in Indiana. I'm sure you probably don't remember it, as you get a lot of stories, but I still want to thank you. Now, on to another ghost story that happened to me while I was staying at my friend's house one night. This story is relatively short, but it's still creepy when you think about it. So, I noticed I dealt with a lot of paranormal activity when I was in high school. My friend Matt lived on the east side of Evansville, Indiana, and it was a pretty big old home, like a mini mansion, if you will. So it was kind of an old house to begin with. I had stayed there many nights with no problems at all. However, this particular time was different. We had stayed up really late the night before and kind of slept in the next morning. I was partially awake when I heard someone walk up the stairs and then slam the upstairs door outside his room, then continued to listen to them walk down the hall towards the bathroom at the end of the hallway. Not thinking much of it, I rolled over and tried to go back to sleep. Once we finally got up, Matt opened up his bedroom door to see the upstairs door still closed. He then asked me if I had shut the door. I then proceeded to tell him I heard his mom come upstairs and shut the door pretty hard and was walking around upstairs earlier. His eyes widened as he then told me that it was impossible because his parents were out of town. He then tried to open it, but it was locked. And the only way to lock it was on our side of the door. He unlocked it and opened the door. I then walked to the end of the hall to use the bathroom, but something was off, as I knew I was the last one in there the night before. The sink was on as water running out of the faucet. Matt then came into the bathroom as he heard the water running and said, "Damn it, Toby." He then explained to me that they had hired a psychic to come in a while back because paranormal activity was happening in the house, and the psychic said a little boy named Toby was roaming the home playing around. And one of Toby's favorite things to do was to turn on the sink upstairs. I was amazed and terrified that I just witnessed my first paranormal experience, thanks to Toby. Thank you for your time. Good story, dude. Thank you. So if you guys, yeah, and I actually was sick before, and many of you guys had sent me like the sweetest friggin' emails, man, to tell me to take a break. And yeah, I really do apologize because I was in Europe for the longest time, and I swear to God, I was taking like an airplane a day, or I was taking a train a day, and I was super exhausted. I had no time for myself, you know. I was doing crazy amounts of traveling. I didn't plan the schedule, okay, someone else did, but yeah, I was doing that for a long time, and I just couldn't make videos, man, or I was making like bad videos and I didn't want to do that. But now that I'm in, you know, in this one place, I'm not really moving around that much. I have more time to make videos, and I'm going to be doing more streams probably because I have more spare time now, and school hasn't started for me yet. So yeah, but thank you guys for those of you who sent me like personal emails saying that it's okay for me to take a break because I was sick. And I really do appreciate that I'm not just a voice to you guys, that I'm actually a human being and you guys give a shit about me. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at their comments. Death Rider Gaming, HS1, we all love you. Yes. Hey, Feral Wife is back. Yeah, I've been relaxing quite, you know, I have a cup of tea here at night doing a live stream, man. So, all right, let's get back to the next story. If you guys have your own stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and I will send you the link to get in here if you guys wish. So this is from another friend of mine, Gilberto, and they've been sending me a lot of emails, and I've always been reading them on here, so I want to thank you again. And the story is called Treasures in Mexico. I was on my way to school on Monday listening to your last Sunday stream. I got excited. I heard the title of my story, so I decided to type this story that my dad told me on Friday the week before. We were eating at the table, and somehow the topic of treasures came up. And my dad told me various stories about the topic, but two stories that happened to him. My dad told me that people would hide their valuables in the mountains, or thieves hiding in the loot they stole from the Spanish something if they knew they would get captured. Story one, my dad, uncles, and a few others went somewhere in the mountains to look for a treasure that they knew was there. My dad told me that if you want to find an enchanted treasure, you need to be pure of heart and not have a feeling of greed. This is because no matter how much grit, determination, and equipment you have, you'll never be able to find it. They left on their journey to look for this treasure. The day was perfect. The sun was out, the birds were chirping, and everything was going great. But as soon as they got to the spot where the gold was, it started to rain, and a big storm appeared out of nowhere. My dad left a rosary and said a prayer, then they left. I asked why did he do that, and he said the gold wouldn't move. Then my mom said that the gold was enchanted and would change from place to place. They had to leave. That night, there was a violent thunderstorm with vicious winds and rain. The next day was a good day. It was as if nothing even happened, no storm. It was a perfect day. They went back to the mountains and saw that the sky didn't change when they got there. There was like a cave-like hole that they had to go in to find this gold. But as soon as one of my uncles went into the hole with a metal detector, it started to rain, and water was filling up the hole. My dad told his brother to get out because they would be able to work with the water filling up the hole anyways. Then my uncle said, they won't be able to get shit done if you lazy fucks are scared of a little water. Then after he said that, it started to rain hella hard, and they were forced to leave, and they never went back. I'm not sure if the gold is still there, or if someone already got it out. The second story was about a different treasure. My dad told me how my great granddad was going out with a girl whose family was rich or had money. My granddad was poor, and the girl's parents didn't like him for that reason. The parents would always insult him about being poor. Eventually, the mom saw that no matter how poor he was, her daughter didn't friggin' care. Then one day, the mother told him that in a certain location there was a good amount of gold, that she said it was his. He was upset with that and said he didn't need shit from them, and he left. Time passed, and my granddad and the girl had broken up. He was talking to some guys over a few beers, and he knew of a treasure that was his. He then decided to get it. They got a shaman to go with them to see if there was an enchantment on it, and they went up the mountains where the mother of his ex told them to go to. The shaman said that there was a spirit of a woman, and that she told him that the gold is there, it is his, but it is not his. He denied it since someone in his family could get it, and so they left empty-handed. Eventually, my great-granddad got married with someone else and had my grandma, my dad's mom. My granddad passed away, and the story of gold went to my grandmother. She eventually had my pops, and she told my dad the story of it, and they went off to get it finally. My grandma asked the spirit if they could now finally get the gold and what to do. The spirit of the woman said that she wanted to rest, and that she said if they could pray for her and give her away to the light. So they left because they didn't have the items that she asked for. Eventually, my dad met the two guys that my great-granddad went with and asked if they could go get the gold together. My dad said that it wasn't his to take, that he had to ask his own mother. He then went to my grandma's house and asked if they could get it out. She said, go ahead, but make sure that to split it evenly between the guys. My dad got a shaman to help them contact the spirit. Once they got there, the shaman asked what did she want and said for her to go to the light. The shaman took out a type of pendulum and was checking if the spirit gave the people her permission to dig the gold. They did a ritual and they burnt incense and were praying, and then the woman said to come back a certain day and a certain time. That day finally came, and they went back up with the shaman, and the shaman started asking questions because the spirit wasn't even talking. Eventually, the guy asked if she was alone, and she said no. The shaman asked how many spirits are with you, and she said 2. Then he asked what did they want, and she said the light. So they started the session again, and my dad said that this session took way longer than before, and it took a lot of his energy. Once they finished, the woman said to come back on this other day, on this other time. That day came again, and they went back to the forest, but life happened, and they had different plans for my dad, so he couldn't go anymore. He was busy the whole day. And that was the day my dad was going to bring my mom and older siblings to the United States and could not go complete the session. I wasn't even born yet. My dad told me that he thinks the woman did not want him to go because something bad could have happened, or maybe the other guys had, bad intentions. My dad told me this story because he had a dream a few weeks ago about his mom, my grandmother. He dreamt himself being very poor with no money and a home. My grandma told him that the money is still there and he could still go and get it. It is his. My dad could go and get it, but can I come back to the United States for some reason? I cannot say. I'm not sure if he wants to get the gold finally. I know for a fact that the money is still there. I told my dad jokingly that we should go, but I don't think he wants to. By the way, keep up the good work and have some lazy Sundays. Epic story, brother. Kind of long, but still epic. So if you guys have your own true scary stories, send me an email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com and you can actually come in here. Oh, gotta rest my back. Okay, let's see what you guys have to say in the comment. Precious Kings, thank you. Fantastic Doof, good job, thank you. So if you guys have any questions, I can answer them. Jonathan Beebe, you the best. Thank you, man. So it's 1:52 a.m. in Australia right now. It's pretty cool. How are you enjoying your trip? Yeah, it's pretty good. I still have about 10 more days of the trip before I go back to Canada. So it's pretty, I guess, peaceful here. There's a gym in the apartment, so I can always go and work out. Yo, I love your vids. Thank you. How old are you? I actually just turned 24, and it's actually kind of sad. I feel so freaking old, guys. How old are you guys? I'm like mostly like 13, eh? Probably. Hi from England. Hi from Malaysia. Are there any like Asians or Malaysians here? Lazy Sunday. 13, 13, 13, 12, 15, 13. My God, 45, 33. All right. All right. Is there anyone near my age? 13, 14, 12. Jesus Christ. My goodness. 10. Oh my God. Hi from Tokyo. Hey, man. Hey, there's a 26-year-old. So that's like pretty close, I guess. 10, 11, 12, 13. 10. All right. So if you guys have your own true scary stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com. But if you guys do come in here, please be sure to mute your mics because I will be probably narrating a story or somebody else is talking. So if you guys can do that for me, that'd be great. So I'm sending some links actually to people, but please mute your mics when you guys get in here, you know. It really helps me out. Thank you. 10, 11, 16, my God. Oh my God. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Vianney says, loved your videos. Yeah, yo, thank you. Thank you, guys. Amanda is 23. That's pretty good. That's pretty close to me. That's like the closest one. All right. So send me a blank email, horrorstudio1@gmail.com. 7. Wow. That's a bit too young to be here. Age restriction. So it's a pretty long story. I'll narrate it for you guys. It's called Almost Abducted Twice. Hi. I've been a fan for a long while now, and I've just gotten up the courage to send in a story. So here it goes, I guess. When I was 12 years old, I was still dealing with the divorce of my parents. So often, I would just want to shut myself indoors alone. When my cousin, a year older, came over, or my neighbors, the 2 kids, they would always want to force me outdoors. On this particular occasion, it was my mom's week. I permanently lived with her, but my brother and sister rotated every week, and both my cousins and my neighbors were over. They decided we would be playing outdoors that day. Here's the thing. I live on a large property in the middle of absolute nowhere. Even the town where I went to school, 20 minutes away, mind you, was in the sticks. So this was the middle of nowhere in Michigan, basically. On this very large property, most of the land is fenced in for a tree, 3 horses, with our house on the top of a tall hill. Hell, driving up in the wintertime. Along the driveway are full-grown pine trees that line it. I swear that tidbit will play in later. So here are 3 12-year-old girls along 2 11-year-olds who are trying to entertain themselves outside, middle of summer, with no supervision whatsoever. My mom was home, but she figured we had enough common sense not to go in the road or whatever. Sounds like a plan for success, right? No. We were in the front yard sitting on the horse statutes, big enough for tweens to sit on, but by no means life-size, and playing a game we made up where we would sit absolutely still as cars and pretend to be statues as well. We got bored pretty quick and walked down the driveway to the edge of the ditch to pick the sweet peas that grew there like any little girls would do. The sweet peas do look beautiful in the summertime and come in quite a variety of colors as well. A white truck came pedaling down the road, down the way from the main stretch. It made such a racket that my cousin said she was surprised it even ran, and at such a high speed. The limit is 50-ish along the country roads. A lot of people go about 70. Now, as the car came upon the joint drive of mine and the neighbors, it slowed down to school area speed, just drifting past. As it was doing so, we caught sight of a very old, wrinkly man behind the steering wheel with a car packed with people of Hispanic descent. I laughed nervously to look at my younger neighbors. Their face. There was something weird on their face. My neighbor, her eyes were wide, and her older sister ushered us into the pines. When we saw that they were gone, we turned to them for an answer. Why were their faces like that? The younger sister was the one to explain. That was our brother's girlfriend's family. They lived in the woods near our house, out near the peach orchard. He tried to steal me a few times. They're actually pedophiles or something. She then went on to explain that how it was illegal for them to even live so close to them. They ran a daycare out of their homes. And as for why we as 12-year-olds knew what pedophiles were, well, I'm not even going to go into that. Of course, we decided to stay out towards the house more, though. Another car started to drive by, a sports car this time, which is rare to see on the track to nowhere. And like the truck, it started to drive incredibly slow. That's another one of their cars. We ran, but my sister fell and began to cry. The car stopped. I grew anxious and yelled at her to get up, to go faster, but she was still so freaking slow. I grabbed her and helped her climb to the very tip of the tree and watched in relief as the car burned rubber out of there. My mom did nothing about this. For quite some time, I refused to go outside without an adult. But the year passed, and then another. Soon, I was 14 years old and found myself on a bike road down the road with my younger neighbor. Across the street, the neighbor had put out free tires for whatever reason, and we shrugged as we passed. We went up and down the long stretch of road a few times when a black truck we saw passed by for a third time. Hey, was that? My neighbor cut me off and we began to bike hard for our driveway. He was suddenly right behind us. We ditched our bikes and dived into a giant bush full of thorns. We ignored all the cuts and scrapes we got and edged our way through deeper into the undergrowth until we were sure he would not be able to get his hands on us. We could barely see him through the brambles get out and pretend to look at the tires in a position so that he could be looking at them and in our direction at the same time. I was honestly shaking and I had to hold my mouth shut to keep from crying out when he started walking along the road. Finally, he left. We retrieved our bikes and we left. I don't know what happened, but the house the creepy old guy lived soon became deserted and looked burnt out after that, and no one else has been seen down there again. Again, I'm a fan, and even if you don't put the story in one of your videos, I understand, and I'm just happy to share it with you all. Keep up the good work, and stay safe. Thank you. So we actually have a friend in here. Hey, friend. I think you've been here before. Hey, what's up?
Well, last time I couldn't tell that story.
Yeah, I think I remember. Tell me, how old are you and where are you from? Just to refresh me.
I'm 12, living in California.
Okay, what time is it over there, buddy?
Right now it's 7:01.
A.M.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, don't you have school?
Nope. I'm still on Christmas break until the 6th.
Why are you up so early?
It's not early. Well, I mean, I was sitting uncomfortably on a couch because my father, who is divorced with my mother, came over for New Year's with his fiance,
Whoa.
who is my godmother.
Sounds complicated. So what kind of a story do you have for us today, my good friend?
Well, you might remember me from another time.
Mm-hmm.
I I have come back with a bigger vocabulary and I am able to describe events with much greater detail.
Can you just refresh us on what you told us last time? Because it's been a while.
Yeah,
All right.
it's been roughly a year.
Oh my God. Okay.
Last time I recounted the events that had happened in my house, I was dealing with some form of spirit.
Hmm.
Angel, whether angel or demon, I have no idea. So, last time, well, I was in my other house before we moved. I was playing Skyrim with my three brothers, one adopted, and we were passing off the controller upon death. And then we hear this growling coming from down the hallway. You
Hmm.
know, it sounded like the dog, but the dog was sitting right behind us. And she did nothing, like she didn't hear it. Because when she hears a dog, she goes ballistic, you know?
Right.
Even if it's just a movie, like, she'll start barking back and growling and all that.
Right.
So anyway, we start walking down the hall because, well, we're idiots. It's like before then we hadn't had any spiritual encounters in the flesh.
So this is your
We
first
just
time. First time.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Okay.
before we had done Ouija board,
Hmm.
uh, and I recently found out that those were the light. You remember? It was there were like these numbers, and they were the license plates of my grandfather's tractors that he owned.
Okay.
So we had contacted him. But anyways, so we walked down the hallway and we rounded the bend and we saw this it was like a blob. It was it was a bit lighter than the darkness so we could
Hmm.
see it, but it was this gigantic blob and we ran. We ran so fast back into the only light because oh, and I forgot to mention this detail. Our parents were at their and uh, my mom and stepdad were at their anniversary at the time, I do believe.
What was this blob just floating in the air kind of thing, or what?
It wasn't like a gas. It was more like it was kind of just like a blob, just sitting there on the ground. It was, I think it would be 6.5 feet tall, and it took up most of your average doorway.
That's not a blob, man. That's like a full size silhouette, dude.
It wasn't a silhouette. It was a blob. Like
Okay.
it didn't take the shape of a man. It didn't take the shape of anything.
Right, right. It's just like a giant shadowy thingy going kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then you guys run. Do you guys like what? You guys call the cops or what?
No, being I think my brother was 15 and I was like 8 at the time, so
Hmm.
we were idiots and because we didn't want the cops coming to our house because my brother at the time had done drugs.
Okay.
Uh, he had been drinking beer. He'd also made some napalm in the past.
Oh, you guys basically just didn't
That
want
was
the.
still up.
So did you guys call anybody?
Yeah.
Who'd you guys call? The priest or something?
No, we didn't call jack shit.
Huh?
So anyway, we didn't call anyone.
Okay. I
So
thought, I thought Jack shit was like someone's name, brother. All right, so you guys didn't call anyone. Was that the only time that it happened?
well, no, I still have roughly 5 encounters to go over.
The same blob.
No. Well, I mean, I've seen multiple apparitions.
Right.
Yeah. So later that night, we head into the parents' room at the end of the hallway where we saw this thing in the doorway. And so they're like trying to provoke the spirits and shit with my computer. And
Yeah.
in the corner, I see this little thing. Have you ever played Left 4 Dead?
No, I have not.
Well, it it looked like an old ragged woman who
Hmm.
had been deprived of food, and
Okay.
she was with her knees to her chest, on the ground, sitting in the corner.
How far apart were these events?
They were roughly, I want to say, an hour.
An hour apart. Okay, that's some crazy shit. You guys didn't just run from the house? I would have.
Uh, Not, but um, I noped the fuck out of there without telling them.
Mm. And then that was the second time. You said you have 3 more encounters with this thing. It's insane.
Yeah. Uh,
Was it the
and
same
so
night?
I can't say for sure. I mean, the other one was so big and bulbous, and
So you just
that
you,
thing was so.
so I'm just super interested. So you see these blobs. Are they always the same kind of shape and size, or are they like different? Like different?
Oh, I never saw the blob again. I saw like the shape of a woman sitting there.
Okay, okay.
Um, and then later that night, I I looked down the hallway, like, because from the living room there, it goes down roughly 10 feet, and then it turns right, and then
Mhm.
there are rooms all along it.
Yeah.
So in the darkness of the hallway, I saw the shadow of a big burly man,
Mhm.
and so from that point we took our mother's advice that she had given us I do believe the week before,
Yeah.
and we made a circle of salt in the kitchen and we sat there for a long time.
So you guys finally told your parents.
Oh no, a week ago we had done the Ouija board, and we had made us a circle of salt so that we didn't contact any demons,
So
because my
do you feel like the reason all this happened was because of the Ouija board that you guys did?
no, I think it's because our mother introduced us into the spirit world.
Why did she do that?
Well, we were begging her to do a Ouija board, and well, here I am, and I have a spiritual affinity now.
Wait. So what constitutes your mom the ability to introduce people into the spirit world? Is she just like a psychic or something, or what?
No, I do believe she put it as she has a spirit guardian. It was her best friend back in elementary school. He died about 10 years ago, I think.
Okay.
He's been watching over her,
Mm.
and ever since then, she's had a connection.
So is there a way
Uh,
for her to help you guys close this connection to the spirituality? Because I mean, you sound like you don't enjoy it that much. I mean, you see random ass things like blobs
well, I
and.
mean, my first encounter was kind of scary, but ever since then, they've done nothing. I remember my friend telling me that these demons are really angels in disguise.
There are actually
Um,
angels in this guy. Well, I mean, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't
Well,
know if my friend's speaking the truth, but
so anyways, later, I have in my new house that I'm sitting on the couch right now. So, the first time I ever had a spiritual encounter was I saw this large man. He looked as though he was a bodybuilder, but he didn't have the outline and contour of muscles. He just looked like your basic, kindergarten drawing of a man.
Mhm.
Well, nah. Well, I mean, like kind of like. I think you get it, right?
I kind of get what you're saying. So
Yeah.
this is your first encounter. I thought the blob was your first encounter.
This is my first encounter at this house. I
Ah,
moved.
no, it's really not good to be talking about it though. Just saying, it'll make it worse. You might not want to.
That's fine. I mean, they've never really attacked me physically.
That would be bad. That would
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
So,
So what was your experience with this big burly ass man? Did he teach you to lift weights or what? What's going on? Take you out to McDonald's or what?
no,
Just what happened? Tell me.
he was walking down the hallway, and
Mhm.
I noped the fuck upstairs, and
No.
I proceeded to tell my mom, and she was like, "Damn it, go get your toothbrush from downstairs." And I was like, "I don't want to. There's a spirit down there,"
Hmm.
and she proceeded to make me go down there, and there was nothing there.
All right.
Hey, my man. Okay, so anyways, um, then from then on, I had seen dog apparitions. Uh, have you ever watched the Harry Potter movies or read the books?
I actually fell asleep during those, but try to make this one shorter because we have another person. Yeah, you know, that it's too much.
So
I know
basically,
your life is very exciting, but I mean, we gotta give other people a chance.
so I basically saw this black, shaggy dire wolf, and
Mhm.
it was standing on the landing of the stairs, and I caught it out of the
Yeah.
corner of my eye as I was leaving my room. Um, because I live on the top floor.
Right.
And it was just looking at me. Didn't make a sound. I do believe it was the one from that night, many years ago.
The
So
story from that night.
the growling.
Ah, okay. Hey, bro. I mean, if you want to write them all down, or like, I mean, the last one sounds pretty interesting as well, because like
Yeah,
paranormal dogs is something I've always wanted to make a video about. So if you can write down and send me an email, I can always narrate it in one of my videos, maybe. You know.
maybe.
All
And
right.
then
Well,
I saw that dog. I saw that dog a couple more times. It's kind of the same instance. But then the most recent one was I saw a little dark figure, no bigger than your average tabby house cat,
mm-hmm.
from the land from like so we have at the top of the stairs to the left there's a bathroom, to the right there's a bookcase, and it's all enclosed. So I saw this little dark thing dart from the bookcase into the bathroom,
Just
and
just
because my what?
no, I'm just saying, just a lot of those kind of entities. Hey, because we have another speaker on here, do you mind just if you have more to tell, you can always tell, but you just stay
I,
on
I
the line.
I don't have more to tell. I just need to finish this up. So this thing darted into the bathroom like how my cat does. Um, so I walked into the bathroom and I was calling my cat, Lily, what are you doing in the bathroom? So I turned on the light. She's not sitting on the sink. She's
Mm,
not sitting on the tub.
she's
There
not.
was nothing in there.
Mm,
My cat was actually sitting on my bed.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea. So I'll leave now.
All right. Well, I mean, do you feel happy for finally being able to share your story? You've waited 1 year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I shared it in greater detail.
Okay. Hey, no, I mean, dude, awesome. Send me a email if you want, and I can even make it even like a video for greater detail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I get my internet back and I can use the computer, because when it comes to using a phone computer,
Yeah, it's hard, eh?
yeah,
All right. Well,
because there's no keys.
thank you, Ray.
Okay,
Thank you, brother. Man, you wake up early.
okay.
All right. Thank you for
Later, man.
sharing. Thank you. All right. So our next caller is called Death Rider. Can't see your full name. Death Rider Gaming. Yo, what's up, man? How old are you and where are you from?
I'm 12 and I'm from Australia.
Oh my God. What time is it over there, man?
Uh, well, where I am, it's 1:45 a.m.
Is there like a lot of people behind you or something? I hear like a lot of laughing.
Oh no, that's probably just me. Really nervous.
Oh, okay. Just you just scratching your head or something. So what kind of a story do you have? Is it paranormal or what?
Yeah, I have it down in my notes.
2, 3 scary kangaroo ghost stories, right? No?
No, I have like a stalker ghost or demon. I really don't know what it is.
All right. Explain.
Um,
Rude. Don't. All right. Try to stay in one place, my good friend.
okay. So the first experience, me and my brother were in the same bed, just because like I think he fell asleep and then I went on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like woke up and what I saw was the least scariest ghost you could ever see, but still somehow scared me. Like months, I think.
Well, you gotta describe it. I mean, you just amped it up. What's the scariest ghost you can ever see? Let's describe it.
Well, the least scariest thing, which I saw, was just a floating jacket. I'm not even kidding. It's probably like a hoodie or some crap. I don't even care what it is. It just somehow scared me.
It was a floating hoodie.
Yeah, it was just there. Because
the way you say that is like it was as if it was nothing. I mean, I'd be terrified.
yeah.
Whoa, you're like stop moving around, Jesus. So you see this in like the middle of the night or something? Like, do you freak out or what?
It was in the morning. My brother was still asleep, so was everyone in the household.
So what did you do? Did you like burn that hoodie or what? Give it away to
No, I didn't. No one owned it in my family, which was the scary thing.
You've never seen it before?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Okay, and then what happens to it?
Well, because my family is a Christian family, I said, no, there is a God, and just started shivering out of nowhere, out of fear. And I closed my eyes for about like 5 seconds or something.
Right.
When I opened them again, it was just gone. I even looked on the floor; it wasn't even there.
Why do you think that happened? Have you ever found out like maybe there was like a history behind the house, a murder, some Amityville horror kind of stuff going on, or used to be a retail store that was haunted? Like, you find out why that thing was there?
Oh, not long ago, I was with one of my oldest brothers, like my oldest brother. I was over there just sleeping for a couple of nights, and he said something about like ghosts following my mother.
Okay.
Because they've had a lot of paranormal experiences, like tapping on the wall. My brother, yeah, my brother saw a demon, like kind of like a shadow.
Right.
Just a shadow of a demon. Yeah.
It's like
and he
weird
said,
how. Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's weird how I hear all these stories and it's always the mother that kind of gets the kids into the paranormal. It's rarely ever like the dad.
yeah.
Why is that? Okay, so what was the demon that your brother saw?
It was just a shadow of like a. It was kind of like very faint. I'm just gonna got him up his room because never feel safe there.
Was it similar to the blob from the earlier story? The other guy, the 6 foot.
No, I can't remember how tall it was. All my brother saw was like it was faint. It had horns, and yeah.
Yo, but just one question: are you behind like the ocean right now? Like, I just hear waves, man.
I'm trying to find a comfortable spot where it won't lag.
Okay, but no, you sound great. You sound great right now. But is that all for today? Or are those your stories?
No, I've got like 2 more.
You got like 2 more. Okay, but do you mind not moving so much because it's really like it's really a lot of it's really noisy.
Alright, sorry.
Just sit still, please.
Yeah, the second experience was like a month later or something. Me and my sister were the only ones awake because my brothers were at a friend's house. My mom was asleep. And we were just talking late in the night. I look over, me and my sister are lying down. I look over, something's sitting on the stool that we had not far from the bed. And I remember getting really scared and answering really fast.
Right.
So, yeah, and I turned around just to not look at it. Later, I asked my sister if she was sitting up, and she said no.
That sounds like a lot like the creepypasta bedtime for some reason. I don't know if you know about it, but you should go check it out, actually. It sounds really similar to everything you're seeing.
Yeah.
All right, so, but I think that's that's okay for now, brother, because I still have some stories I want to read. But if you have free time, maybe next week you can always come back with your last story. It's just that we're trying to limit the stories to maybe 1 or 2, the most, bro.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming, anyways, man. Thank you, all the way from Australia. Do you have something to say to me before going? Like, are you a fan or what?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man. What's how long you been subscribed?
Yeah, no problem.
How long you been subscribed for, brother?
I think a year.
Oh,
Also, there's a kitten.
that's like from the very beginning. All right, thank you, man. Death Rider Gaming. Thanks,
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang up the call here.
All right, thank you, man.
But then,
Oh.
no problem.
All right, peace. All right, so guys, seriously, just one thing. I'm thinking maybe just to limit each storyteller to 1 story. I know you guys have a lot of short, scary stories, but I'd rather you guys come in here with like 1 story that you find really good and you can explain upon the details instead of saying like 7 that are just like short. Like, I'd rather have that, It's more fun too because you can get deeper into each story instead of just having 7 random occurrences that are easily forgettable if it's too short and there's not a lot of detail. Those are the stories I like to narrate as well. Like, I like to narrate stories that are more like longer, have more detail, have a setting, have a background story itself and stuff like that. So yeah, for those of you who still want to call in, just a little heads up, we're going to limit them to 1 or maybe, if you're interested, 2 stories. So I have some stories here that I want to narrate. There's some crazy fan stories I want to read. It sounds really funny. It's funny / scary, but before that, let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say. A lot of people are saying Happy New Year. Man, this chat is going haywire again, of course, as it usually does. How long is the stream gonna be? I'm not sure. What time is it right now? Yeah, maybe just like another 20 minutes or something, like a half hour. If you want to get in here, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com and I will send you my link. So, morning, Horror Studio 1. Hey, what's up, bro? Abir Rose says, hey, man. So where are you guys from? I want to see in the chat where you guys are from across the world, because I am in Asia right now and it's nighttime, but I want to see where you guys are from, man. From fans from all over the world. That's pretty cool. No one's saying anything. Hello, how do we call? So send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com and I will send you the link to get in if you have something to say. I'm from Korea, but I live in Sweden. Sweden, the Philippines, that's really close to where I am right now. Cali, California. Most of the people that listen to me are from California. It's crazy. Whoa, whoa, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, did I send you a link?
I guess so.
Okay, there's 4 different pictures on your profile pic. I'm not sure who you are.
Up left.
Up left. Well, okay. Yes, you're not 12. How old are you and where are you from, brother?
16 in Germany.
All right, that's thought you'd be 26. Okay.
What?
All right. What kind of a story do you have for us today, man? Germany.
Just a few little stories from in my house. English. Fuck.
That's the official language of the stream, man.
Yeah.
I wish I
So
understood German.
the woman that lived in this house before us died in this house. So there were a few little things that happened here and then. Like
Haunted house story is what.
yeah,
Right.
a little bit, yeah. One time when I laid on my bed and I looked at the mirror, I can see the window there, and it's the first story, but it's kind of it's a few feet high. So if I stood there, you couldn't see me, but I saw a tall, dark figure just out of the corner of my eye, so just moving, just a little bit black thing there, and I didn't know what it was. So I guess shadow person or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Back then, when my dad once laid on the couch, we have cats. He looked into the dark. Christoph, was heißt Flur? Hallway. He looked down the dark hallway, and he was all alone. And one of the cats, with his feet to the hallway, and one of our cats walked really slowly up to him,
Yeah.
and walked up so that one paw was on his face, and he watched the whole time. And so he could feel the electricity of the cat's hair go up, that the hair stand up,
Okay.
that it was getting scared. And then the cat jumped and scratched the top of my eye for my father, so he had a scar there now. And he always something here that you feel watched. Or when I sometimes play alone in the house,
Yeah.
I feel the ground vibrating like someone was walking, but there shouldn't be someone there. Just things like that always.
Have you guys actually ever seen the woman in actual form though?
Me not. I think maybe my parents have a picture, but I don't know. And I don't know. I don't think so. And the corner where she died in World War II or something like that, where the bombs got dropped, there was a corner blown out of the house there. And so it's always kind of cold in that area. Maybe because there once was the wall missing, or
yeah,
I don't know.
That sucks, doesn't it? Like, you know where that person died. It's so creepy. Like you just can't look away, but you know what I mean? Like, it's so scary how that happened. So this was like in the World War II that she died. So like many years ago. And has no one lived in that house for that many years until you guys, or have other people lived there and like left?
We were the next one. She was very old too, so she died from natural causes.
Okay, I see. So what was the gap between her death and you guys moving into that house? Like how many years was in between?
I don't think it was so far away, actually.
So are you in that house right now as you speak this?
Yeah.
Are you scared at all?
Sometimes at night, when every cat and so is sleeping, but suddenly it stands up and runs out of the room and just freaks out in the house. It's kind of scary sometimes.
Have you guys thought about doing like a saging or getting a psychic to deal with like?
No, it's not. It has never touched us or something. Never physically hurt us, but just knowing it is there.
Dude, man, seriously, yo, I've actually just taken a trip to Europe, man. Great place.
Oh.
Do you guys use euros in Germany as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can visit next time. I have some euros left for my trip.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm not gonna go near your house though. Just saying. All right.
You don't know.
Thank you, brother, for actually coming. Do you have anything last things to say? Maybe to me or just in general, or what?
I often listen to your stories when I'm going to sleep. I can't sleep. I hear two scary stories, so that maybe a bit desensitizing myself
from the stuff going on around you.
Yeah, and and I sometimes dream the things that also subconsciously you hear it, so you dream of it. Sometimes that happens.
Right.
By me.
Right. Well, thank you for choosing me to listen to, you know?
Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, man. And your English is great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. See, that was a good story. So if you guys have your own true scary stories, send me a blank email at horsedude1gmail.com, and you guys have a chance of getting in here to talk to me. Let's go back to the chat. And I don't know what you guys are talking about anymore. So Wolfie Gao says, could you read out stories people have sent or just doing callers? I'm doing both actually, but the ones I'm gonna read out are I kind of like chose them already and taken a look at them, like kind of. So mostly that. But if you have your own story, you can always come in and tell it if you're not too shy. From Denmark, that's great, dude. I actually went to Italy, the city of Rome, Venice. I went to France. I don't really care for France. No offense, guys, from France. Because it was Paris and it was like really busy. Man, the freaking traffic there was insane. Like, I'm Asian, and I still find that driving to be kind of a bit too much. I really liked Rome though, and Venice was just so goddamn gorgeous. We also went to Amsterdam, so that's pretty cool too. But I will always say Venice is my favorite. We lived on the near the ocean and stuff. So hi Julie, hey, what's up? So they're like, wow, you're on some tour, eh? Yeah, I went to Amsterdam as well. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. But the video where I said I was taking a break, that was actually in Venice, and the view was spectacular. So yeah. So if you guys have your own story, send me a blank email. If you guys just want to come in and talk to me, you can always come in and talk to me. I've been sending some links to people. Hopefully they can get in and share what they have to say. You know what I'm saying? But before that, I'm going to narrate one of these stories. It's pretty good. I find it pretty funny. No offense. Crazy barking man in my old neighborhood. When I was 10 or 11 years old, I lived in a lower middle class neighborhood on the East Coast, with its fair share of seedy people. Despite this, I never had a cause to feel unsafe. That is, until this happened. It was summertime, and one of my favorite activities was going on long bike rides all over my old neighborhood. On the day in question, I had gone down an unfamiliar dead-end road. At the end of the road was a small wooded area, which had clearly been used as a dumping ground for everything, from old McDonald's cups to broken skateboards and everything in between. Curiosity overtook me, and I parked my bike, took off my helmet, and began to look around. I had been there less than a minute when I looked up from my investigation and noticed a man walking fast towards me. He was over a block away, but even from that distance, I could sense that there was something wrong about him. I stood watching him for a moment, then figured that he might just be out for a walk, and went back to looking around. Not 30 seconds later, I looked up again, and my heart gave a jolt when I saw that he was just across the road from me. The feeling of unease returned, and I abandoned my search and proceeded back to my bike, putting on my helmet and standing next to my bike, ready to leave should anything happen. He walked closer. I could see now that he was a black man, mid-40s, thin and wearing baggy clothes. Creepiest of all, he was giving me the creepiest grin I ever seen, a leer really all his yellowing teeth showing. I swung my leg over the seat of my bike, ready to leave at any second. The man stopped maybe 5 feet ahead of me, and never taking his eyes off of me, he began barking like a fucking dog. Imagine someone literally yelling, "Woof, woof." I booked it home, not stopping to catch my breath until I was 5 blocks away. My parents were just as weirded out as I was, and I've never seen the man since. I now live in a different part of the state, and I've sometimes wondered whether he was crazy or not. But then I think back to the look in his eyes, and I have no doubt that he was. So, just in case, crazy barking man, let's not meet again. Dude, you can put this on Reddit, let's not meet, man. This is a great story, by the way. Great story, great story. I kind of laughed when I read it. I couldn't contain myself. So I might be putting this in a video, man. Nice story, brother. I love it, I love it. It's funny, and it's like, kind of just freaking weird, and I believe it. It's believable, dude, seriously. People are like, yo, racist white dude getting scared of a black dude walking. Nah, man, it's the barking that's crazy, man. If any colored guy of any race was going around like, whoa, that'd be fucking weird, man. All right. Let me grab some tea, and then we're gonna go to the next story, man. Yes, I am Asian. I do like to drink tea. Get over yourselves. Jesus Christ. Next caller in here. Hey, man. Thank you for being so patient. It's Allah1X or one. Hey, what's up?
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. I am a Muslim.
All right, cool, man. What was that? Was
And I actually have a jinn story for once.
wow, but that intro you just did was what were you saying, brother?
Peace be upon you, and may Allah guide you and grant you the highest level to paradise.
Thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from the U.S., but we do sometimes take trips to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, your English sounds really good. Have you been living in the States for a while? Like, are you born there or something?
I was born here. I converted to Islam. I take Arabic classes.
That's cool, brother. Thank you for coming. So what kind of a story? You said jinn story you have for us. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 16 years old.
16 years old. Wow, you sound very mature for a 16-year-old. Thank you. Proceed with your story, my good friend.
Okay, so we go to my grandparents' house in Arabia. We go to Hajj for Mecca. We go to Mecca. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, my first time. We go to Mecca because we go for pilgrimage, and
Okay. Cool.
my family is Muslim too, and we have a strict rule on not going out at night because we believe that Shaitan and his jinns always try to go out for Allah's servants, and my brother and I go out, and we see this weird looking cat, and the cat literally does this high pitched meow at us. And again, the jinn have the ability to turn into animals, fly, do all kinds of stuff like that.
Mhm.
So the jinn, we believe that it was a jinn because when it looked at us, it just got really, really, really hot.
Okay.
I felt like I was going to burn because we believe that there's good jinn and bad jinn. And we ran off, and when we get home, that freaking cat, subhanallah, is literally right there at the door. I'm like, okay, you know what? I start performing my salat right in front of it, and I'm like, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam, Alameen, Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And the cat literally tries to scratch my brother and I get a claw mark down my hand, and it was bleeding at the time. I'm like, dang. I'm like, and yeah, so that's my story. That's my
I just had a question. You
personal encounter with the jinn.
yes. You said the cat was weird looking. Why was it weird looking? What was different?
Well, here's the thing, like, the cat, the jinn, you can tell by, like, some people can tell by the look, because the cat had like red eyes, and a lot of people get that misconception of, oh, maybe it's a possessed demonic cat. No, and by the way it was moving, because the jinn think that they try to that they're blending in, but if you read the Quran like I do, you can tell when something's jinn or not.
Mm-hmm.
So so yeah, the jinn literally wants it, and some people, when they give off a stare, when the jinn stare at you, it doesn't really feel too good. It just depends on the jinn. Sometimes there's good jinn, bad jinn, but when an evil jinn stares at you, you're just like, especially if you're Muslim, cause yeah, I guess that's what I get for going out when my family tells me not to, because yeah, that jinn and my brother still got the scratch down his wrist to this day. He still got it.
Still has it, eh?
Yeah.
It's
I'm
crazy. It's crazy. So many people, like, I try to find, any of these jinn stories online, and they're actually really hard to find. But a lot of people have been talking about this.
I know,
Right?
I know, and
You guys
and
just don't
again,
write about it.
what?
You guys just don't write about it. Maybe like you guys are like keep it all to yourselves. Like I want to use it for a video or something.
Right,
Do you think
right.
even-
Well, the reason why is because because we don't usually, traditional Muslims don't want to delve into the jinn. We just say, hey, we saw it, we forget about it. Don't go into it, or it could jeopardize our entry into paradise.
Yeah, and the more it is like that, the more like as a horror narrator, I want to talk stories about it. That would be really great. I mean, but thank you for indulging in it with me today. I guess even though I might screw up your chances for paradise. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh no! It's not you. It's not you. It's
all me.
It's the jinn. It's the jinn.
I know it's me.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's the jinn.
Like 7 different accents.
It's the jinn.
All right. Yo, thank you though. Thank you. Yo, you have some last things to say to me or something before leaving? How long you been watching my videos, brother? Serious.
Good lord. For about a year now, I should say. But yeah, I just want to say to those people out on the chat, Salamu alaikum, and may Allah's blessings be upon you.
What does that mean? Did you just swear? Hopefully not.
No, Salamu alaikum means peace and blessings be upon you.
Okay, thank you for that. Same with you, brother.
All
right. Well, have a good winter break, man.
You too.
All right. Thank you. Wow, that was an interesting fellow. All right. So, for those of you who are new, if you have any stories, send me a blank email at horrorstudio1@gmail.com, and you may come in here. Nightmarish Tales just asked me, Haley, do you practice a religion? I don't. My only religion is, I don't know, like money or something. I really don't. Like I'm like the opposite of the guy that just spoke. Like, all right. So we have a couple stories. If you guys have anything, somebody wrote Salu Aluha. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do that. Okay, and there's some swearing. So for those of you who want to get in here, go to Google Hangouts, put yourselves as mute, and then you should be able to, please be using Google Chrome. Make it a lot easier to get into the stream and tell your story, which is good. So if you guys haven't already, share with your friends on Facebook or whatever, and about the stream. So Sheriff, hey, what's up, man? I think I sent you a link, man. He says you're a longtime fan. Yeah, man, come on. I sent you a link. You can come in here and tell your story if you want to. Can you answer me just one question? What's the question? And then there's talking about drinking bleach. Come on, you guys. Come on, you guys. I'm waiting for that question still. Okay. Maybe I'll just narrate a story. So, have you heard about the Nintendo Switch? No, I have not. What is that? That's a random question. Good. All right, so let me narrate a story. So this story happened to me in Germany, where I live. So my English isn't the best, and it is my first time doing such a thing. So please be understanding. Another person from Germany. It was a cold winter night without snow, though. But it was getting dark very soon, and I was staying the night by my friend's. His name is Marcus, and he has a forest right next to his garden, and we loved going in there and build little shelters and tree houses and stuff like that. Friend with us, but this time he wasn't allowed to come along, so it was just Marcus and myself. To get to the point, me and Marcus were paranoid the whole night. Every few minutes there was a twig that was snapping, and a few times we ran deeper into the woods so we couldn't see if it was a forest ranger or not. And every time we were waiting to calm down and to catch our breath, we swore not to run away the next time. After we started working on our shelter again, we could not stop once in a while to check if anyone or anything could be seen in the distance. So it was almost midnight when this happened. I was chopping up some wood, and Marcus pointed the flashlight at the log. And just as I had been chopping and asking Marcus if he heard something, suddenly, just seemingly out of nowhere, footsteps of 2 pairs of feet, not more than 15 feet away, were charging in our direction. In panic, Marcus ran out with the flashlight, and as suddenly as the footsteps had come, they went away, with me standing in the middle of the forest in the dark with the axe ready to swing. I was illuminated by the moonshine and frozen in fear. After seemingly ages, we finally found the courage to run back inside. We didn't sleep that night, and the next day, we were looking in the direction of the footsteps, and we didn't see anything except for wildly moving leaves. I hope you enjoyed my story, and sorry again for the bad language. Pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. Some typos, if you guys can see, but it was actually a pretty good story, man. I mean, try getting me to tell a story in German. Like, that'd be so hard. All right, I'm so hungry right now, guys. Okay, just the chat. You haven't heard about the Switch? No, I have not, brother. So if you guys have any questions for me, I'm reading the chat right now. It's quite interesting to read it. If not, then we'll be doing something else. Good stories. Thank you, Jose. I try. So, are you still in Europe? I'm actually in Malaysia right now. So I flew back to Asia. I'm doing a long ass, I guess, trip around the world because school doesn't start in like a while for me. So, you know. What are your stream schedules? I don't know, man. I just did one today. I mean, I have a lot of time on my hands, so maybe I'll do one like, more. But yeah. I don't know that schedule. Like, I'm so sorry, because it's like a Sunday morning for you guys right now. So I don't know. What inspired me? I was listening to a lot of them, creepypasta channels actually, and then I just wanted to make one of my own and see how I would do. And I'm doing pretty okay, I could say. So I'm pretty happy. Right. So I'm gonna send out a couple links. Then there is a story to narrate. A pretty long one. Happy New Year to you guys too, Joshua. So let me narrate this story. Horror story submission. So I don't quite know if this is a good story or not, but it's honestly the scariest experience I've ever had in my entire life. It is definitely the closest thing I've ever had to a near-death experience. It is kind of long, but I tried to make it as descriptive as possible so that anyone who listens can really picture it. So here it goes. I believe I saw the rake. About 6 months ago, my fiance Jack and I were making a huge move to a new home. It was our dream home. It was about 2 hours away from my apartment that we had at the time. We actually bought our home in the town I grew up in. My hometown was a pretty rural town nestled into the enormous mountainside of northwestern Virginia. It was an absolutely breathtaking place, and I was dying to move back to ever since I leave for university. Anyways, enough chatter. I had to be completely moved out of the apartment I was living in the following morning due to my lease being over. We already moved all of our big furniture, and we all had leftover last-minute boxes of clothes and stuff like that. We planned to drive over there as soon as Jack got out of work. But of course, with my luck, Jack was stuck in the military base he worked in for a few more hours than expected. So against his wishes, I told him I would move the rest of our belongings and he could meet me there because honestly, I just wanted to be in my bed sleeping, which, as I said earlier, was already in the new house. I was exhausted after a day of work and needed to turn in for the night. He didn't want me driving so late at night all on my own. He had been the overprotective type. And thinking about this now, it was a terrible idea having gone on my own, being the petite little brunette that I am. But I felt comfortable at the time since I was bringing along my big German shepherd, Sadie. She was a big ball of fluffy love, but knew how to be protective when she needed to be. So I stuffed the back seat and the trunk of my small car to maximum capacity and started my 2-hour-long journey with Sadie next to me in the passenger seat. It was practically 10 at night as we peeled out of the parking lot of my apartment complex. About an hour and a half of exhausting driving, I was approaching signs notifying me to get off the main highway and onto the smaller back roads. But my luck decided to get even worse that day as I approached what looked like a huge accident on the road I needed to continue on. I soon came to find out of a goddamn 18-wheeler tipped over coming with a sharp turn essentially blocking off the whole frickin' road. Fucking fantastic, I thought to myself. I was beyond exhausted and had a huge headache. At this point, it was already past 11:30 at night, approaching midnight, and my eyes were getting so heavy. I parked at a rest stop, got some coffee, and looked at alternative routes on Google Maps. Sadie was passed out in deep slumber in the passenger seat, and I couldn't have been more jealous of her. There was only one other route I could take according to the map. So I chugged the remainder of my coffee and continued this tiring adventure. About 5 minutes later, the GPS spoke, telling me to turn left at the next opportunity. As soon as I'd realized the GPS was taking me down the most deserted, dark, scary-looking road, there were no streetlights, no houses, nothing. Just thick patches of wood on my right and menacing-looking cliffs to my left. It was a very windy mountain road with many curves and sharp turns. I soon realized it was a road I knew of that I would frequently travel to get certain hiking trails and such, but at night it was just so much more terrifying. I drove as slowly and as carefully as I possibly could. I was terrified of veering off the road and plummeting to my death off the side of one of these cliffs. And just when I thought my luck couldn't get any worse, I heard a loud pop sound. I almost lost control of my car completely, but thank God I didn't go flying off the damn mountain. My tires made the most deafening screech as I braked as hard as I could. I finally came to a stop. Sadie was just as freaked out as I was. She was now awake and alert, confused as to what in the hell was going on. At this point, my anxiety was overflowing with bodies with emotion. At that point, I knew I was screwed. I was in the middle of nowhere, far from civilization, with no phone signal, of course. I started to feel my face get hot and felt the tears in my eyes. I was more frustrated at my luck at this point. I was still scared, but I was so tired and so disappointed. Why me, I thought. I should have listened to my fiancé. Can my luck really be this shitty today of all days? I said out loud to myself. I didn't want to leave my car, but I needed to see the damage. Luckily, I knew how to fix a tire, so I thought I could just switch it really quick and be on my goddamn way. The last thing I wanted was to be alone and an easy target for psychos lurking in the woods, but I had no choice. I got out to inspect the damage and came to a horrifying discovery. Both my front tires were completely shredded, and wrapped around them, entangled in the mess of shreds, was barbed wire. At this point, I ran back into my car. I tried to reason with myself, saying it could have been left out on the road on accident, but who was I kidding? Deep down, I knew it was done. It was done on purpose. Someone wanted me stranded there. Someone wanted to be vulnerable so they can rob me, they can rape me, they can kill me. I didn't want to find out. I was trembling out of fear to the point where Sadie could sense that something wasn't right. I looked at my phone desperately, trying to send through text or make a phone call, but no luck. I found myself constantly looking around outside my car to see if anyone was out there plotting to get me. I sat there stuck, not knowing what the hell to do. I couldn't walk, obviously. Any psycho could have been out there, and the next town was too far away. Then out of nowhere, Sadie starts freaking out. She growled, snarled, and barked at the darkness my headlights didn't reach to. I wanted to flick on my high beams to hopefully see a deer or something, but I almost didn't want to, in case that something more terrifying and nightmarish inducing lurked in the darkness. Sadie was freaking out completely. I'd never seen her so scared and so protective in the 4 years I've had her. So I decided to flick on the high beams, and what I saw will haunt me forever. Standing there in the middle of the road was a figure with what looked like gray skin. It wore no clothing. It was so tall, definitely over 6 feet. Its eyes looked sunken in as it stood there and stared at me right into my eyes. An overwhelmingly feeling of dread came over me. I was too scared to even breathe. The thing was nowhere near human. It was the most terrifying creature I've ever seen. It stood still with its skin abnormally long arms that looked too long, sharp claws at the end. Sadie continued barking and freaking out the entire time. I was too scared to take my eyes off it, fearing if I looked away it would move closer or something. I was shaking uncontrollably and felt so helpless. I honestly thought I was going to die. All of a sudden, it opened its mouth and let out a horrifying screech. It was like nothing I've ever heard before. It made Sadie go quiet and whimper as she tried to hide on the floor behind the seat. This cannot be happening, I thought to myself, but like a heaven-sent miracle, my leg that day turned around as what looked like headlights of a car appeared on my side mirrors. The creature must have noticed it, as it let out one last screech and then fled into the pitch-dark woods. Thankfully, the car coming down the road stopped and asked me if I needed help. It was a friendly older woman who looked to be in her 50s. She offered me a ride and I took it. I'm usually pretty wary about strangers, but at this point I would have taken a ride from Charles Manson if that meant getting away from this road and whatever that thing was. I decided not to mention what I saw to the woman as she drove Sadie and I to the nearest gas station. The woman even waited for me until my fiance arrived. I couldn't thank that woman enough for basically saving my life. My husband got a hold of a tow truck and went out there to search for my car to retrieve it after dropping me off at the new house. You better believe I stayed home. Luckily, my fiance didn't see anything out there, nor did he get attacked. I told him the story and he insisted it must have been kind of an animal or a person in a costume, but I know what I saw that night. It was no known animal. It was some sort of ungodly creature that looked like it wanted to hurt me that night. I still cannot explain the barbed wire in the road. Was this creature smart enough to purposely do that, nor was it just a coincidence? I guess I'll never know. I've done some research online to try to figure out what that thing was, and I found articles about a mysterious creature from a well-known urban legend called the rake. I don't know if that's what I saw that night, but all I know is I will never, ever travel that road again at night. And the horrifying image of that creature will forever stay engraved in my mind. story's so scary. I'm so scared. Holy fucking shit, dude. Holy shit. Crazy, yo. All right, so with that awesome story, we'll do a quick Q&A, and that will be the end of the stream, guys. Any questions? Any final questions? I think just Horror Studio 1 is my username on Google Hangouts, guys. If you guys want to come in. What are your thoughts on Stephen King horror? Can you please subscribe to me? Yes, I can. Purple Swifty. Any last questions? If not, that'll be the end of the day. That's so scary. That's a really scary story. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still kind of freaked out by that story. It was so well written, too. Yeah, I'm going to put that in a video. Seriously. When is your next live stream? I don't know. Maybe I'll do one again tomorrow. Do you guys want that? Since I have nothing to do here. Got no friends. I love your channel, man. Thank you, Butterfly Fiction 13. Are you a human? Yes, I am. I love horror movies, guys. I love horror. But I also like dramas and comedies and all that other stuff, too. I like singing, too. Musicals are fun. Yeah, I might be doing one tomorrow. Not sure yet, guys. If more people come in, you know. Plans for 2017, many plans, but still gotta work hard at them. Yeah. Could you make another Skinwalker video? Yeah, man. With stories like that, like what I just read, I would be down to make a Skinwalker video for sure. What's the scariest story you've read? I mean, the one I just read is pretty good. I mean, I probably read some scarier ones, but at the moment, all I can think about is the rake on the side of the road at night with your freaking bob wires on your tires and stuff. And then there's discussions about hair and penises and vaginas. That's great. And Irish penises, of course. Let's get some artist illustrations in these stories. That would be pretty cool. You guys can give me some. Okay, the Pharaoh wants to get in, but I'm pretty sure I just want to end the stream now. I'm sorry. I might be doing one soon, Pharaoh, so you can come in earlier, and then we'll give you a lot of airtime. But now it's like, I'm just going to do a few more questions, and then Steven says, love your vids. I love you, man. I love you. Kaylin says, I love your channel. Hope to see more of your videos. Was Kaylin the dude with the haunted house? I'm not sure. Hey, thank you. No, you don't talk too long. I'm saying I have like 5. It's more like 5 minutes. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry that your dad left. Pharaoh. What is your next story about? Your next video about? Not sure yet. Still have to make it. Nightwolf Jamma says, I love you and I love your videos. Well, I love you too. All right, so I guess we'll do like 5 more minutes and then that'll be it because I'm so hungry right now. I love your channel. I watch it daily. Thank you. How do you feel about the horror movies coming out this year? Yeah, I fucking love it. You know what's Jeepers Creepers 3, guys? Yo, it's a childhood memory. Jeepers Creepers, like from anyone from my generation, you know. And Insidious, isn't it Insidious 4 or 3 coming out? 4 coming out, I think. Yeah, this year as well. What are you gonna eat? Because I was gonna go and get some food, but a lot of my friends are asleep, and I don't drive in Malaysia. My friend does. So am I just having cereal or something, you know? And I live pretty far from the next food place because it's like a big ass sweet hotel that I live in. So your channel is actually my favorite on YouTube. Well, thank you, Cheryl Brandvilla. You don't sound American. I want to thank you. I just saw here that I give someone my videos give someone nightmares. That's actually a compliment. That's like Jeepers Creepers 1 scared me when I was little. So I'm guessing you're about my age. I'm guessing because I was little when Jeepers Creepers 1 came out. Yeah, there is a third one coming out for Jeepers Creepers. Come on, guys. Oh, you are American, Cheryl Brandvilla. What type of horror do you like? I used to like the found footage ones, but I found that they were overdone. It was really cool when Blair Witch came out, and then a lot of like indie smaller movies kind of copied that. But then when the big studios started making like all these found footage like movies, I don't like them anymore. I like the Insidious ones. They're like classic, you know, a bit, but I'm taking a different spin, I guess, a more updated spin. Jose Davila is 28, so I'm not the oldest one here. Yes, I'm not the oldest man at the oldest guy at the party. Yes, that's not me. I'm just the second oldest. Will you ever do a video with Mr. Nightmare? Of course I want to, man. He's not too busy. Come on, you guys go on his videos and say, I'm desperate for your attention, sir. Make a video with Horror Studio 1. He needs your help. He needs the boost to subscriber count or something. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen and will never watch again? Hangover Part 3. It was horrible. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. I'm not even sure yet. Someone says you're 34, so I'm the third oldest person. Is that supposed to make me feel any better about myself? You guys think of the gin story today? Yeah, it's freaking crazy. All right, anyways, guys, I'm gonna go eat something. We have 1 more minute. Like, any final questions? Am I, you know, I don't know, nothing sexual, hopefully, but, you know, that always happens with this chat. I'm sorry to say. One more minute. All right, so are you a stoner? That's actually pretty great. No, I'm not. Ooh, that's funny. All right, guys. Yeah, I guess that would be about it. Nice. Good luck in, yeah, exactly. Good luck in 2007. Jesus. 2017 for you guys as well. Hopefully you guys have a great year. All your dreams come true. Hopefully all mine come true. Well, a lot of plans this year. Seriously. Wish me luck, guys. And that will be it for today's stream. Thank you guys for showing up. I love you guys.